This is This Day in Wrestling. I'm Jennifer from Cultaholic. It's May 28th and joining me is Jack the Jobber.
Hey, what's up, guys? Great.
Loved
Big
it.
energy, come on. Yeah, it's right.
Go for it. May
Okay.
28th. Now, you're going to need to school me on this one.
Okay.
A wee bit, right? Because I don't really know, but I've heard it's a very interesting story. 1996. In Your House 8, Beware of Dog 2.
Beware of Dog 2.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say the dog.
Yeah, because this wasn't on a weekend. You might. So, right, what happened was, on the Sunday, there was the pay-per-view, In Your House, Beware of Dog.
Uh-huh.
Not two,
Beware
just
of
one.
Dog.
And I think only 2 matches were shown.
Right.
Because there was a thunderstorm that knocked out the broadcast. Yeah. So as like an apology to all the fans who bought the pay-per-view, they just redid it again. Where they did...
So it was actually the Beware of Dog
2. Yeah.
show that was...
So they just put on the same matches, but...
Just no thunderstorm.
Yeah, they aired the ones that had managed to go to air, they replayed those, and then they put on all the matches again. They changed the order a little bit.
Okay.
The main event of In Your House, Beware of Dog 2 was Taker versus Goldust.
Yes.
In a casket match.
Yes.
They had a bit of a brawl and stuff, and then guess who was in the casket when he opened it? It was your boy.
It was Foley.
It was Mankind, yeah. He popped out and clamped the mandible claw on Taker, who got knocked out very quickly, and then he just sort of laid him in there, tried to get the top on the casket, wiggled it a bit, it didn't really work, but it was okay.
Uh-huh.
And then that was the end of the match. It wasn't, I was about to say it wasn't one of the best casket matches, but some of them are really quite poor. So it was actually a fair to middling casket match in the history of casket matches.
10?
Yeah, top 10. There's not actually been that many.
Really? How
Not
many?
televised. I think I've been researching this. I think there was about it'll have already happened, but at the time of recording, in the lead up to Rusev versus Undertaker, I think there's been about 16, 17.
Is that all?
Televised. There's been loads of house shows.
Yeah, because I
loads,
was like,
loads.
I'm sure.
But in WWE televised, I think there's been about 16 or 17 Taker ones. I don't know how many there's been not involved in Taker, but probably not that many more.
I was going to say it's kind of synonymous
It's his
with
thing.
Taker, isn't it?
It is. The best one's him versus Michaels, I think. The one where Michaels broke his back. Anyway,
so that was Beware of Dog 2. So, 2001, sad day, it's a release from WWF.
Oh.
Brian Christopher.
Oh, Grandmaster
That's the sexy. He's away. Not a fan? Too cool?
Preferred Scotty Too Hotty.
I think everybody preferred Scotty Too
Not Jerry.
Hotty.
I think Jerry preferred Brian Christopher probably. But no, which one did you prefer, Scotty Too Hotty?
Scotty Too Hotty.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I liked Too Cool.
They were good for a while, weren't they?
I think as a kid they were super fun.
Yes.
So much energy.
Yeah.
Dancing.
Yeah,
Just,
the worm.
yeah, it was enjoyable when they came out. I mean, to be honest, I couldn't really tell you anything other than
They won the tag belts.
Yeah, but I'm saying my kind of memories of looking back from when I was a kid watching it, I couldn't really tell you anything about storylines or feuds or anything like that because I just was like, oh, there they are.
I remember two things.
Okay.
Rikishi eliminated them in the Royal Rumble. They all danced. They all were all in the ring at the same time. They all danced. And then Rikishi went every man for himself, and they kind of were like, oh. Brian Christopher did his like that face that he does, and then I remember this was a Scotty Too Hotty one, but Scotty Too Hotty. It was when Austin was the heel champion, and he was like a massive bully, and he said, I'm going to call out all the roster one by one and tell them why I'm better than them. He's like, number 1, Scotty Too Hotty. Scotty comes out all serious, which is weird because you're used to him.
I was going to say jumping out.
And he gets in the ring. Austin's cutting a savage promo on him, saying, look at this, Scotty, this belt. You'll never be as good as this. You'll never be as good as Scotty. Scotty hits him with the bulldog, goes for the worm. The crowd are like, whoa, he's going to do it. He goes for the worm. Austin pops up and hits him with a stunner. And it's like, But just the fact that the crowd got so hot.
So excited.
Shows the effect of how fun Too Cool were.
They were fun.
They were fun.
And I don't think anyone can really argue with that.
No, they were fun. But then Christopher went to Impact, he went to TNA, and said, he turned heel and went, I'm going to distance myself from my father's legacy because he was a terrible father and all this sort of stuff. He never saw me as a kid, he was off wrestling. I'm going to distance myself from his legacy, so no longer will I be called Brian Christopher, I'll now be called Brian Lawler. And everyone went...
see what you did there, Brian?
You've just done the opposite of what you said you were going to do. It was very strange. I don't understand.
It's a good point, actually. Why?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Brian, if you're watching, let us know.
Why? And what's Scotty like in real life? He seems like a really good guy.
Yeah, really good guy.
Really
Big
cool.
fans.
Big fan of Scotty.
2002, NWA announced that Dan Severn has been stripped of the title.
Yeah, how do you pronounce it? Because I never know what to do.
Severn.
Severn.
No, Severn would be R-E-N, but Severn.
No, but...
Severn?
But they do... What do you say?
Severn.
Severn.
Do you say seven? I say
Severn.
Severn. I say Severn.
You're wrong.
I'm not. I'm not.
it's
In the
spelled-
comments, I'm not.
It's spelled
I know it's spelled.
S-E-V-E-R-N.
Ooh, I know.
Severn. Severn?
Yeah, I think it's Severn. Anyway, what did he do?
He got stripped of his title.
Oh, this was sad for him.
Yeah, talk to me about it.
Well, I've just mentioned them before. We're back in the early days of TNA, and they had leased the NWA Heavyweight Championship. So for the first few years, as I'm sure a lot of you know, their top title was the NWA Heavyweight Championship before they split and then they got their own one. But he was the champion at the time, but they didn't want him. They didn't have any interest in bringing him in. They wanted the belt, so he was stripped of it. Are you alright?
That's so sad.
And then guess who won it?
Who
Ken
won it?
Shamrock, his old rival from mixed martial arts. Yeah, he was the first TNA NWA Heavyweight Champion.
I actually didn't know that.
Poor Daniel.
That is a shame.
That is sad for him.
Oh, not only can people get confused on how to pronounce his name, people didn't want
I'm
him.
correct. That's how you pronounce his name.
Severn.
Severn. Dan Severn.
Severn.
It's Severn.
Dan.
I'm going to look like such a fool if this is wrong.
Severn. We've got a birthday. We've got 2 birthdays actually.
Love it.
We'll go for Kamala first.
Oh, Kamala.
Happy birthday, Kamala.
Fair.
Fair.
No, look,
fair.
I just
fair
don't know
that you
what
were
to
born
say
this
because
day.
I like Kamala. Great character. Love
Yes.
it. 80s cartoonish and stuff. But bit racist. It hasn't aged very well
not
at all.
aged.
And I don't know how much control Kamala had of his own gimmick.
Well, that's the thing.
if
though,
it
like
was
how,
all his own idea, fair play. But if it wasn't, I'm a bit, ooh.
surely he must have had some say.
You'd hope. You'd hope so.
You would hope.
Because otherwise, whoa, it's a bit risky. But great presence, great charisma. Another casket match with the Undertaker. He was one of the casket boys.
There you go.
The first casket match was between him and Undertaker.
Was it?
And he really sold it well. He was terrified of the casket. So at one point he takes a bump to the outside, but he lands on the casket and he freaks out. He's like, oh, no.
That's perfect.
Really good. The match isn't great in terms of moves. It's a bit slow and stuff, but just
His reactions and his
the pair of
psychology
them,
behind
yeah,
it.
that makes it really
Absolutely.
good.
That sounds fab.
Yes.
I'm going to watch that. So happy birthday, Kamala.
Happy birthday.
We've also got another one. Happy 32nd birthday to Seth Rollins.
My boy. I love Seth Rollins.
So did I.
Best member of the Shield, in my opinion.
I would agree.
Oh, would you?
Yeah,
oh,
I
so
would.
You're going to say
I would.
Roman?
No, like, I do love Roman, but I think Seth for me. He's more than Roman. I don't know what more. He's just got something more appealing than Roman to me. I don't know if it's just because like the whole. I love Roman Reigns. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's more natural to like Seth,
Okay, right.
even as a heel,
Yeah,
because he's good. Very
I
good.
I think they kind of blew it a little bit with how they turned him back face again. But I really liked. I think they should have turned him face. Obviously, because he was too popular when he came back from injury not to. But I think they went about it in the wrong way. And I think they should have. Because his story was that he was like a flawed person because he turned on his friends to win the gold and everything. And then they should have made more of his like redemption story, I think. And, getting his friends back.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah. I asked my friends I asked 3 or 4 of them who don't know anything about wrestling. I showed them a picture of each member of the Shield and went, who's your favourite, just based on their pictures. And my mate Sophie went, well, I like the one that looks like Aquaman. And I was like, oh, Roman Reigns. And she went, no, Seth Rollins. I was like,
What?
if you look at them.
I was like
Roman Reigns,
Jason Momoa
yeah.
and like Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I didn't get that at all.
Some very good looking men. I think all the Shield are good looking
Rollins
actually.
is a good look. And Ambrose, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Did you ever
looking
see the
lad.
pictures?
Don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just asking.
On his birthday.
Well, here. It's 32, so he knows better now. Happy birthday, Seth Rollins.
Happy birthday, Seth. A great guy.
So that was this day in wrestling, and you can follow me on Twitter here. If you like what we do at Cultaholic, you can support us by pledging to our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.